Hey, hello, welcome back to the channel. Today is a video because I wanted to show you guys my setup for CB radio on my base setup here at my apartment and my car setup. I have different setups for each of them, and also explain to you why I believe CB is not dead. Everybody's talking about GMRS radios, which I have one over here. And let me tell you, this is awesome. GMRS is becoming very popular. It has more range than the CB radio, but to me is for a different purpose. And that's one question you need to ask yourself when you are going to prepare a setup for your house or your car or whatever. Okay, what is the purpose you want to accomplish with your setup? Is it for road trips? Is it for go on a group off-roading? Or you want to sit at home and just talk miles and miles away with some strangers, or listen to some strangers miles and miles away. I mean, you need to know what is the purpose you want for your radios. My main purpose is road. Okay, as you may know by now, I'm a truck driver. I'm not a radio expert, but I have very, very good experience on the road on CB because I use it especially to be aware of upcoming situations on the road. Maybe an accident and all lanes are blocked. If it's snowing, just listen to see if there's black ice or cars going off the road or whatever. Have information about the conditions on the road. That's my main purpose for the radio on the car. On my apartment, over here in the south, the weather is sometimes a threat to us. And I found out that around town, we were hit, let's say about a month and a half ago, we were hit by 3 tornadoes. And I found out that the town, the people around, they go to the CB radios they have to keep people informed on how is it going. Okay, guys, this road is blocked, there's trees on the road, whatever, the tornado is hitting this direction, whatever. So to have information about that. So I said, well, that's cool. I'm gonna have my home base ready for those situations. And when I'm bored, I can also go on this radio on sideband and listen to the skip transmissions the radio receives, and you can kill time in that way. So I'm going to explain to you, I'm going to do a close-up on each one and explain to you how I use it and why I use it that way. Okay, it is important to know, as I told you, the purpose you are going to do. If you are just going to do off-roading, let's say in a group of cars, and they all have GMRS, you have to go that way. And believe me, it's an awesome radio. Especially if you go into the woods, you will find out that much of the people are now going with GMRS especially because of the range. It has more range. So I always go, when I go into the woods, with my GMRS, but, and that's why I pick up also this for my car, I also keep a CB with me, always. I always go with both. On the road, on the woods, when I go camping, I have both. And I'm gonna explain to you how easy it is to set up. This is an easy setup. I don't want to spend thousands of dollars on equipment and better equipment to reach farther away. That's not my goal. This serves my purpose and it works really, really good. And let me show you each one on a close-up, and then I'm gonna go to my car and show you how I set up my radio on my car. So let's see the equipment. Okay, now we have a close-up of the whole setup. As you may notice, I put this little power station over here because this is to me a very important part of my setup, and I'm gonna explain you why. This is the main CB, which is a normal CB. The only thing that is different is that it also has single side band, which allows you to do this. Let's imagine the band. This is the band. When you go single side band, the radio will compress the transmission, and if you go to lower side band, it will compress the transmission on the lower side of the band, and that will produce more power on the transmission. Okay, so from the regular 4 watts, it will go, they say it goes to 12 watts. So that's the main reason I did like that, because you can do those two things with that. You can listen on single side band and you will hear transmissions from very, very far away. Or let's say if you have a friend that also has a single side band CB, okay, you are gonna be able to talk with him farther away, because you are gonna have a lot more range with the 12 watt power, okay? And that's a very good thing. So if you have a group of buddies and they all have radios with single side band, it's going to be awesome. That's one thing. I went also with the President Mckinley because of the scan mode. When on the emergency I told you about, I put this radio to scan and I pick up information from the people around my town in like 4 different channels. And that's a very good thing to have. And also because it has the weather channels and alert, and to me that's a must to have, especially if you live in the south. And another good feature about this President Mckinley is that it comes with a SWR meter in the radio, and it is very easy. Let's say I always like to measure the middle band, because since I'm staying almost all the time on 19, which is around the middle of the band, it's awesome to have the meter on the radio, and you just go like this and you don't have to key up on anything, and there it is. You see the flat sound? That means a perfect SWR, which is great. And this is awesome to have, and that's why I like this radio. I just hook it up to this Btech power supply. I went with 30 amps because sometimes I hook with this adapter, I hook both my CB radio and my GMRS bass at the same time, and the power station can handle the amps very easy. So I went with 30 amps and it works awesome. For the mic, I just took a regular phone stand and I drilled 2 holes and I put this mic holder over here just to have it pretty easy, pretty cheap. And this is a monitor stand base, which also works great for me. It's a metal, very cheap. And I put the bracket, when you install this on your car, I put it over here, and that's the stand for the CB. Very easy, very cheap. I'm gonna leave the links on the description for everything. And I keeping this over here because I don't want to have this unit on my car, because I don't want to be worried about some guy breaking into my car, doing some damage just to take the radio. So for peace of mind, I don't want to go with a big radio on my car. But I found the perfect solution for my car, which is this Midland 75-822. This CB, look at the size, which is amazing to me. Is this is the same power of any regular CB, even this President Mckinley, 4 watts. So you don't have a power problem. And this little radio comes with an adapter where you can take out the battery like this. You take out the antenna, and you take this little piece, which is the complete radio, to your car. And I have in my car the adapter. You put it over here. The adapter comes with the hook for the roof antenna on my car, so it will work with a very good antenna on my car, and it gives power, and is an awesome CB to have on your car. Very nice choice. I like it a lot. And when I'm not using it as a base on my car, I just have the walkie-talkie. So let's say if I go off-road and I go with my GMRS base, I will always take with me my CB walkie-talkie, because I know how it is in the road, and believe me, it is more popular than GMRS. GMRS is not hard, but you need to pay for a license, $35 for 10 years, I believe, to the FCC, and it will apply to you and your family, but you still have to do that. I don't think they enforce that much, but you have to do it. So CB is more easy and more, I believe, more popular by far. So that's why I keep both of them. Now, if you are going to have a CB, any CB set up, and your CB doesn't come with the SWR meter, you need to buy one, guys. This is a must, because the SWR measures the electricity that is going out of your antenna, and if you have a SWR of 3 or higher, that means that some electricity is going back into your radio, and if you transmit for a long time with that happening, it will damage your radio. So to protect your radio, you need to have that. And also, when it's SWR, a perfect one is 1. When you are as close to 1 as possible, you are going to have more power going out of your antenna, so your transmission is going to be better. SWR matters just for transmission, not for receiving. For receiving, you need a good antenna and a good cable and a good setup, and that's it. The SWR is just for transmissions, okay? And this is a chip. You can check the video I did on this one, a chip meter, and it's a must to have. This is a cable that comes so you can hook it up, okay? And last, I said, okay, especially on weather emergencies, what happens if the power goes out? Okay, I need power for those situations, and I bought this little power station that is so tiny many months ago, especially to go camping with it, because it does a lot of things. Oh, excuse me. Let me show you over here. First, you can use it to charge your cell phone, your batteries on cameras or whatever through these ports. You can power some 110, I don't know, something you need to power on 110 on AC. Just look at the amps, because this little thing is, I believe, is 10 amps, so you cannot go crazy. You cannot power with this one, let's say a mini fridge or something like that. But it will keep you charged many times with it. I'm gonna prepare a better video on this one, and it comes with 3 DC outputs, because it's so tiny. They are the small outputs, so it comes with not one adapter. I bought 2 more because they are very cheap, and you just put over here, and let me show you. I'm gonna turn off the power. You hook up the radio over here, you turn on DC, and you turn on the radio. It's working perfect, and without power, now you have the backup you need for any type of emergency, and it is very, very awesome. Okay, and that's about it, guys, about the setup. Is, as I told you, it's not an expensive setup, but there's no need to spend thousands of dollars. I mean, if you go ham radio, you really can spend a lot of money on equipment to talk very far. And well, if that's your goal, you have to go that way and get your license and start buying equipment. They say it's awesome, but I'm not really into it, okay? As I told you, again, my main purpose is for road trips, camping, or off-roading, and that's it. On getting information on emergencies, and that's about it. I'm gonna show you the antenna I have in my apartment. Let me put it to scan. Just a second. You see, it's scanning over there, and that's how I like to have it when I need information. Okay, now I'm gonna show you the antenna, and then we are gonna go to my car to show you my setup in the car. Okay, there's the antenna. It's the Firestik IBA-5, which is a base antenna designed for indoors or close quarters. I set it up on my balcony because it says that you cannot use it if you have carpeted floors, and I have carpet all over the apartment. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the electricity that is going on the cable or whatever. So I didn't want to take the risk. So I set it up at my balcony, which ended up being a great location because you can see, I'm 27 feet high, so it's an awesome height for an antenna, and I don't have major obstructions. In that direction is miles and miles of woods and small hills, and the range is very awesome. I have a range around town, even through these buildings in that direction. I'm getting about 3.5 miles of range around town, and I gonna do a test in that direction driving to see how far it goes, because I really don't know yet on the CB. And it is an awesome installation because there's the antenna out of the way. I leave it there. I took the cable around there and just hook it up at the back of the radio, and it's working perfect. Awesome. I recommend this antenna very high. It's 5 feet high and a tunable tip over there, so you can adjust the SWR. And I did put a little gadget I found, which is this. It's a ground plane kit, it's called, which you just unscrew your antenna, you screw this ground plane kit, and you screw the antenna into the kit. And for some reason that they didn't even know, it gives a better ground plane to the antenna. So I did try it. It worked. I measured my SWR, went down with it, so it is awesome. And it's working perfect. And that's my setup over here at my house. Let's go to my car, and I'm gonna show you the setup in my car. Okay, here's the car. We are gonna start with the antenna. If you saw the video, I end up with the K40 model K30, which is working very, very good. It's a magnet antenna, so I can take it out very easy. I just put the cable through the back window over there. It goes well, water doesn't come in, and I took it through here under the back seat and all the way to the front. Let me show you now the setup on the front. Okay, this is where the antenna cable comes and hook up to the adapter for the CB. Okay, so this is going through here to this part, which is the adapter. You put this in place of the battery, and it will give power to the radio and the hookup for the roof antenna. And it is awesome. And if I want to go very portable, I also carry my GMRS walkie-talkie, like that, with the little antenna. It's out of the way, and in that way I will have both radios scanning or doing whatever I need to do. And when I'm driving, okay, let's say I'm going on channel 19, which is the real common channel for road information on CB, and I go on channel 19, just just scanning for road info, or I can put it on a scan and it will go through all the channels scanning until it picks up something. No. Yeah. On CB you pick a lot of crazy people on the channels, but it is what it is, guys. Normally I stay on channel 19 if I'm driving. You can use it also for off-roading or going to the woods if the other vehicles on your party are on CB, there's no problem. You can go with CB, or you can go with the GMRS, which I can have it on both at the same time. This is with the walkie-talkie. Normally, if I'm on a road trip, I will put my MX 275, the Midland, over here instead of the walkie-talkie. But I like this setup because if I have to get out of the car, let's say if I go to the woods or camping or whatever, if I'm getting out of the car, I can take any of the walkie-talkies. As you can see, I have over there the antenna and the battery for the CB, and it's very easy, just to take it out and connect the antenna and the battery. And if you want to take it on your hand just to talk, very easy and convenient. And that's about it, guys. I think this is an awesome option, for comms on your car and your house, and it's not that expensive. I hope you like the video. Try to subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna leave the links on the description for all the stuff I show you today.